I guess we can't really do that.
Yeah, we're not really team action right now.
I mean, we're
team action.
We're Action Army for life.
Action Army for life, but you're the boss.
I mean, I'm a respectful gentleman who's playing matches against talented competitors, and I still make fun of people, but here we are.
I'm gonna give you a minute to catch your breath.
No, I'm
my favorite. I am like a proud dad at Ben's matches. Like, I'm so loud. Like, I've been told numerous times by Christian and other people that I gotta keep it down, and I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
Because what's gonna happen? What are they gonna do? Kick me out of the league?
Yes.
They might.
You're not allowed back in.
Not allowed back in. Can't come to tapings anymore.
So here we are, guys. The gauntlet's over. It's a big stage that has been set. This is team action in the secret headquarters with us and our buddy Nick Cage. I am right now with Who's the Boss? 5-0, so 3 wins in the teams tournament, and I've just won this gauntlet qualifier versus Janine and Lon, and I now have 2 matches upcoming. One against the Harris brothers. I got a rematch against Lon.
Yeah,
and I'm playing Clark Wolf in round 1 of the teams of the singles tournament.
This is okay. So like, everything's all intertwined. Obviously, Clark Wolf. We'll get there. You need to get revenge on her from our match. But then, Janine has been a member of the Action Army for a long time before she was ever a competitor. And Lon was one of the scariest people we'd ever seen play the game when he first joined the league. And you think about playing him in singles, and then you got to play him again in a week or whatever it is against the Harris brothers.
So this is the behind the curtain stuff that you guys want to know about. So this match, the gauntlet was taped on a Friday, as most Schmoedowns are. The occasional backup day for Schmoedown is Tuesday. Mm-hmm. That's the day that the studio has availability. So if you can't do a Friday, you got to film on a Tuesday.
That's when John and I had our match.
Yes, and they're always a little weird. The Tuesday matches.
There's 6 people there
because people don't usually show up for them. It's different than the Friday matches, and I knew at the point that I was taping this gauntlet match that I was going to have to play. I was going to have to play the Harris brothers the following Friday. You're going to mix wines there if you do that.
Oh, we don't want to do that. Okay, so I appreciate you stopping everything to stop me. That's you're a good man. Yeah, Action Army for life. So, JTE, rest in peace. No, I'm just joking. Our good friend, he got in a bad wreck, and he had to kind of bow out. Yeah. Did you feel better or worse about JTE and Lon as opposed to Lon and his brother?
Definitely better about playing the Harris brothers.
Of course, right? Because JTE is a seasoned champion.
He's 9-time teams champion. I mean, the guy is
unflappable.
Yeah, JT's a really good player, and not only that, but anytime you're playing 2 people who are not necessarily like this, their base of knowledge is different. So the Harris brothers, you got to assume his brother is not somebody who has played Schmoedown before.
Right.
So watching their match, the one match they have played, he was fine, but you also were it's more likely they're going to know the same stuff.
Because they grew up together.
And he'll make a mistake maybe because he doesn't know the game as well. Yeah. JTE has been in big match after big match, so I feel much better about playing against the Harris brothers than I do about... I don't feel great about any high-level match because I hate losing and I don't want to lose. But, if I'm going to have to pick one for the tournament finals, it's the Harris brothers, not Lon and JT.
For sure. All right, so let's talk you and Janine first because, Janine, we love you to death. You're one of our absolute favorite people in the world. And I don't mean this as a slight to you, but it's really more about you and the way you're playing right now.
Yep.
Were you intimidated at all by Janine?
Well, so at this point, like I said, I'm 3-0 in teams when we tape this. And so we had won the first 3 matches, and upcoming is the team match. And so I taped this after a lot of confidence.
And just to put that in context again really quickly, because I love Janine, I wasn't scared to play Mark Riley after beating Dan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was just riding so high. That's all I was trying to say. So please continue.
Janine's a pretty good player.
She's been banging it out. I still think she should be in contention for Rookie of the Year. I think it's bullshit that she's not.
She had a bad round 3 in her triple threat at the Collision, and that's pretty much the only reason she didn't get a high-level match there.
And the entertainment that she brings to the league is that all newcomers should bring. So Janine, obviously, well, first of all, I'm just going to salute you real quick because I didn't want you to feel like I was insulting you. But I just feel like you're kind of untouchable right now.
Well, I went into this match knowing, first of all, Janine, as it always happens, anytime that you watch a male competitor versus a female competitor, just the general demographic of what the movies that are targeted towards you and your gender and your upbringing are different. So like, so I was raised watching a bunch of action movies. Most girls I know were raised watching more like romances, watching more movies with actresses. I watched a lot of movies with actors. I know this. This is a thing of the people I grew up with, and you see it in the league. Now you have people like Rachel Cushing who just like know everything.
Everything
doesn't really seem like that exists.
Right.
But generally speaking, with movie fans, you can assume the pendulum will tip one way or the other.
And so it usually does. And there's like rare anomalies like me, for instance, who has like a really good touch on rom-coms and romance because I was raised by sisters.
I'm pretty sure Janine on the wheel picked romance movies against me, which plays into this.
Yeah.
So
you had a bad round one for you.
I did, and I have to say
in both of these games. But we'll get to Lance in a minute. But so you went 4 of 8, which is like an Andrew round one. Why? What happened? What was going on? Were you hungover? Were you tired? Were you jet lagged?
Yeah, all of them. I've been traveling a lot for the 2 weeks before this. I've been traveling a lot. I was hungover, and there's some part of me that just wasn't. I was a little fuzzy, and like so. There's 2 questions in this round one against Janine. I might have been overconfident, but I should have gone 6 of 8 in round one, not 4 of 8. Mm-hmm. So what happened was one of the questions was the movie, the 2016 movie with Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges and Ben Foster, and in my mind I was just like, oh yeah, real clever. They were in that movie Finest Hours. It was the same actors.
Oh my god.
And I was like, Finest Hours? Like, no, Hell or High Water. And like, I loved Hell or High Water.
Yeah.
I did the premiere for Hell or High Water. So like, I was like, what?
You talked to Ben Foster.
Yeah, yeah, he's great. I was kind of like, what? And then I was like, how did I do that? And then 2 questions later, they go, released in 2007. This was the 8th Pixar film. I'm just like, yeah, easy. Like I know this like the back of my hand.
Because you've been putting so much work in on Pixar.
And this is my strength. I have them all memorized.
Yeah.
And I write The Incredibles. Somehow I write the 2004 film. I know that Ratatouille is 07, but I just write The Incredibles. It's like kind of the same thing as like you want to say cat, you say dog. I want to say Esposito, I say Stan.
Right.
So I come out of round 1, and I've gotten 4 in the Janine match, and it was just like, what the hell is going on?
But the thing is that you were on fire in your promo, and you came out to a fucking amazing new song from, I mean, honestly, this movie looks insane.
Yeah, Vice.
Yeah, Vice. Fucking Christian Bale as Dick Cheney is amazing.
I watched that trailer a bunch of times, and I was just like, this song is sweet. Like, this feels like sexy. And
because I'm So Humble was like really good, but this is I'm the boss.
And that song, I'm So Humble was like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a kind of funny, kind of fuck you.
And this is how I want to feel when I'm going there. Because I found myself dancing to it, and I was like, this is what I want to come out to.
That's the same with me and the Yeah Wolf song that I come out to. Is like, I'll be backstage, and I'm like, oh, God, I love this song. I made my own money. You know, like all that. Like, this is the character.
Yeah.
So that's why the promo is on fire. You come out, you're on fire, but then
I've got the I'm the living, breathing Make-A-Wish Foundation line.
Like... And you had a different version of that originally, which is like super fun.
There was like a slightly inappropriate version where I was like, she gets to meet her hero and die.
Which like day. I was like, say it.
Yeah, and I was like, that's probably best to just stay away from. So I was like, she gets to meet her hero and have a good time, which still implies it.
It's still,
it's still good. But
one of my favorite lines ever from you. That one, let them catch your breath. Like they're so good. So round 1, 4 of 8.
Yeah,
you make a couple like. And that's the other thing is they're not mistakes, or they're not misses because you don't know them. They're misses because you're being kind of an idiot.
Well, the table talk also was interesting because like I felt real comfortable with Janine, right? Because she's an action fan. She made that T-shirt for us early. Like she's a sweetheart. Like
she's one of our favorite people.
And I just felt really good going in. Like I felt confident, and so I'm kind of making fun of her. Like I think the first question the whole match is like, what Mission Impossible actor has been in most movies other than Cruise? And we both get Ving Rhames, and as you learn that on my show. And like, and she's got a lot of attitude. She comes out, she looks amazing. I think she's dressed like Misty Knight from
awesome.
Luke Cage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, her arm looks sick. Like she looked great. And so we go into round 2.
I didn't know if it was from Luke Cage. I just was agreeing with the costume.
Yeah,
I didn't watch that show.
Neither did I. I thought it was Cable, and then somebody corrected me. So round 2. I'm trying to remember what I got. I know that she got coming of age movies.
Yes,
and
which is a weird category.
It's a hard category.
It's super hit or miss. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I got like. What did I get against Janine? I feel like I got an actor maybe.
Wasn't Pitt? Wasn't Cruise? Was it Cruise? No.
I didn't get Cruise. I got like.
How can we not remember this? That's the thing is, I feel like every day I open up YouTube and there's another video of you playing a match.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know I got a category that was pretty good for me.
Yeah,
that's what it was. I did well, and she got coming of age movies. And
I'm listening. I'm gonna click through here.
The interesting thing was the big turn in the match was that it got to her, I think, second to last or third or last question. And the question was, what was the only Oscar won by the 2014 coming of age film Boyhood? And she doesn't pause. She goes, Best Actress. And was the moment where I was like, I have this match. Because it was a 2-point steal, and I knew it was Patricia Arquette for supporting actress. And so did she. That's the saddest part. She knew the answer.
Same.
She knew the answer.
Yeah.
And so
New releases.
I took new releases. Okay.
You took new releases.
Yeah, I remember that. Then I paused on Donald Gleason, and I remember this now.
Who played A.A. Milne in the film Goodbye Christopher Robin? Yeah. Well, because and we're gonna get to your third round. There's a great moment with your pausing. So go ahead.
Yeah, and so we go into round 3, and that 2-point steal has really put me pretty far up. She gets. I think she misses her 3. I'm giving her a hard time. She pulls her 5, which is a really good 5. It was what are the names of the 2 minions, Hades' minions in Hercules and Panic and Pain. She gets that right, which is pretty cool. It's a hard one. I would have gotten that because it's an app question.
I would have never gotten that one.
But finally, it gets back to me, and I'm trying to remember if it was my 2 or my 3. But I think it's my 2 I get asked, and I think I know what it was.
Yeah.
It was the Mr. and Mrs. Smith question.
Yeah.
And it was my 2-pointer was like, what was the 2005
who directed
Brad Pitt, Doug Liman, Brad Pitt, Jolie thing. We've got our talented producer letting me know.
Yeah, Roxy Stryer comes out with new releases because we're both such idiot. Like we're like, oh, we're gonna talk about your Janine and Lon reaction.
we just
don't know anything. So
thanks, Rox.
Love you, Rox. So you do the pause. You're pulling the pause.
On the 2-pointer.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And I think I actually repeated the question.
You did. And I asked you. Yeah. I go, did you?
And it was 100% for show.
It was just for show. And this is one of those things where that is like...
Next level.
It is.
Yeah.
It's even next level beyond me.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would burn a repeat.
Well, it doesn't matter. She's gotten her 5 already. I'm not messing with her anymore. I'm just doing it 100%.
Well, you could still lose
for show,
right?
So I'm literally just
because hurting myself. Yeah, exactly. You're not fucking with her mentality. She's done playing the game.
I guess the only way would be
if
we went to sudden death and then But
you literally did it just to fuck with her. You told me that, and I go, you repeated a question you knew the answer to already.
Yeah. I've done it a few times.
I know you have.
I like to do it because I think it builds the suspense, and I have to do it enough that when I do it, people don't know what to think.
I don't know what to think anymore.
And so I do that on
the better than anyone.
It goes to the 3, and it's what 2 Tarantino actors appear in the 2003 film Basic.
Yeah.
And I knew the answer.
You knew it immediately.
And I could hear her off screen. You can see her. You can hear her off screen in the match.
She goes, you know it. He knows it. Just say it.
She knows I know it because she's watched the action movie now.
Yes, she's watched our show. And then Ben goes, is this bothering you? And I'm just like, what a fucking prick.
And I'm like looking at the ceiling, kind of squinting. And then just I say, John Travolta and Sam Jackson. I think I say Travolta and Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Bibiani contended that she could have challenged. I could have got it wrong because I didn't say both names.
Which is not true because if you say, we've done this many, many times, and it's like, when you say Travolta, it's different than saying Cusack. Because you say Cusack, it can be 2 different people. There's no other famous Travolta.
Yeah.
There's John.
So I love it because I do this, and it's "and you're a winner," and then it's paused for a second, and then my song kicks in.
Yeah.
And I stand up, and Finstock comes over, and he pats me on the back, and I just exit.
You just exit, and then the best thing is in the background, Jay is like consoling.
It cuts to Janine, and he's hugging her.
He's like hugging her, and you're just gone. You don't even go through the fucking curtains. You walk around. You walk off set.
It was like he comes in to hug her, and it was just like decimated. And it was like it was just the best. It was probably close to my favorite.
One of your greatest just appearances ever.
Just because the song too was so good.
The song was so good. You were ruthless. You were funny. You weren't ever like a dick. You were, but it's like also you didn't go to 11 because you like Janine. It's easier to go a little lighter when you actually really like the person.
So now the flip side is the lawn match, which happens immediately after.
Which I want to know, first of all, yeah, it happens immediately after. So how are you feeling after the win? How are you feeling going into playing someone like Lon, who you know is a powerhouse player? He's kind of a freak.
Yeah, Lon's really good. He's had almost, I think, as many perfect rounds as anyone, or close to it. I think he's had like 2 or 3 perfect rounds.
Yeah.
He's insane. I've watched him have a couple really insane matches. He took Irwin to sudden death. Like, this guy is really good. And I wasn't playing my best Schmoedown. I was kind of out of it, and I'd studied. I believe I put. Why did I put movie release dates maybe on the wheel? I can't remember the category I chose against him.
Right.
But I know that I was prepared. I had watched his matches, and I knew that animated was a weak point for him.
Was a weakness for him.
I had talked to my sources. Actually, this is another behind the curtains. Roxy Stryer had recommended. And
really?
She had said, I think we had talked about it because she's worked with the screen.
Pulling up your lawn match.
And she had said that I don't think he's that good at animated. I think that might be a smart play. And it turned out to be a really smart play. And that's what won me the match ultimately. So big shout to Rox. But
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. Again, behind the scenes, guys. This is the behind the curtain. But anyway, so yeah, the deal was I played first, then Lon played Makuga.
Yep.
Then after Lon played Makuga, I played Lon. So I had the match off, not Lon.
Yes.
He had to literally go back to back.
So it was all in the same day because I wasn't there for any of this.
Oh yeah, it was a couple hours.
Yeah.
And so
how is that for you? Do you feel better going into the second match?
No, playing twice in the same day is never fun. I've had to do it. It's my third time I've had to do it.
It's like the same thing. If you talk to any competitor at the free for all, it's like the worst and hardest day to compete because unless you go early, well, honestly, if you go early, you're going to lose because you just can't win if you go early. And then if you go late, you've been answering trivia for like 3 hours offset or off screen, and your brain kind of turns into mush.
And I got the time off. I don't love competing twice in the same day. It's
always terrible.
It's not my favorite. So, but, and the weird part was going into the lawn match. Same kind of thing had happened, right? I was the same day. I was still kind of hungover. I was kind of out of it. I had some confidence about me, but I knew that this was going to be a tough match.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. So.
And I've done nothing but lose important matches in my career. So
it's true. We have been kind of choke artists when it matters. So you got Ellis and Bibbs at the desk. Bibiani, never has anyone been more proud of himself than Bibiani for winning the belt. That guy, you could not. And I love him. I do love Bibbs, but like he just wouldn't shut up. He just would not shut up when he had the belt. So he's on the desk, and you guys missed the open season question. He's like, "Open season!" Like as he does, like you're so stupid.
Yeah.
What's it like having him at the desk? Because that's like that's not the way that a person at the desk is supposed to be acting.
If I hadn't just beaten him and like in almost a mean way,
right?
I think I would have felt
you just didn't fucking care because you were like
a little bit, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it because like. I wasn't really paying attention. I also like you get hungover and then you're also 2 matches in, you're kind of dazed. And so the lawn match.
Eyes on the prize.
Same thing happened against Lon. I got 4 points, and I want to say that I should have gotten 6 again. I can't remember the 2 questions I missed, but like it was like
you knew open season. I feel like
no, I missed open season. There was just against Lon. It just wasn't my best match.
Yeah.
So it's kind of amazing. Once again, so we get into So first of all,
there was that crazy question about the Back to the Future thing too.
I watched it back and I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was maybe it was 5 or something, but it should have been closer. And so we do our promos. Finstock is doing my promos with me now, because he's my team manager or whatever. And that's funny. And when we've got some good lines, we come out. I'm vibing now because I've come out to the man twice.
Yeah.
And we like sit down. And they say something. You didn't watch this probably. But they like say something like, "Are you ready?" And Lon's like, "Yes, time to get to the match." And then they cut to me and they're like, "Babe, are you ready?" I was like, "Why don't you shut up, Lon?" Like I said, like, you sit down and shut up. Like I just like something unnecessarily mean. And it's like really funny because it's like kind of out of place.
Just like, what the fuck? Yeah. So you come out of round 1, you're 6-5 with Lon in the lead.
Is that what it is?
That's 6-5.
I got 5 points.
Yeah, you got 5. So it's actually not that bad of a round.
I thought I got.
And honestly, that's like a worse round for Lon too. So it's kind of like you got a little cushion there. So you got to be feeling okay going into round 2 because you also wouldn't have been surprised if Lon got 8 or 9 points in round 1.
Now, he must have gone first, as most competitors do.
Yeah, we like to play from behind.
Yeah, and he spun opponent's choice. So that was a moment for me, and I had done my research, and I had the recommendation of Roxy, and I gave him Animated.
Yeah, you did. And he spins away from modern classics.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. I'm like clicking through here to like.
I think I would have taken modern classics. But.
Oh, did you see? I just want to talk about this really quickly. Did you see the post on Facebook talking about how Finstock comes in and talks to his players when they're deciding on the wheel? And
no.
Like whether or not that's okay.
Yeah.
And like someone else can't chime in. They're like, he's the only manager that does it. He's the only one that does the extra work. Everyone else is just there for the attention. Bobby goes in and he coaches his players.
Do you want to know the behind the scenes?
What does he actually say when he comes up to you?
Finstock 9 times out of 10 gives legitimately appallingly bad advice. like he's all the love, and sometimes he's onto something, but he'll often say something where you're just like, not only is this wrong, but I think we've talked about the fact that this is wrong.
Right, and there's a lot of reasons why.
But he says these things with an irrational self-confidence.
Yeah.
That if you're not a strong player, like if he managed a new player, I think they'd go with it.
No, he'd be like, yeah, you should give Ben movie release dates if he spins opponent's choice. He's not as good as he used to be. And you'd be like, yeah,
I remember like in one of our matches, I think it was like in our match, the question was like, what country does Maggie Grace get kidnapped and taken?
Oh yeah, yep.
He like leaned over to someone. He was like, "It's Japan. It's definitely Japan." And it's just like he's just like 100% wrong, but he just says it with like so much confidence. But anyway, the point is, he comes in, he gives advice. I don't remember what he said. He's not always wrong, but I don't know if it's an advantage or not an advantage to have him come in the mid round. But
so here's the thing: is I feel like it's almost an advantage because I feel like it kind of like puts everything in perspective really quick. Like, this is just a game. You're just chilling. Like, this is jackass in a mask is gonna come out. Like, and he's great. He's a great energy to have.
And honestly, the one thing I'll give him credit for, and Christian has said this, I think that he takes the position of being a manager more seriously than the other managers.
Oh, 100%.
Like, he believes that he is a big part of the wins.
Yes.
And it does make you feel like you have somebody who's like kind of willing to fight for you in your corner, which I think is interesting, even though I don't know how actually helpful he is in terms of strategy.
Like, probably not at all, but it's like, it is really nice to have him there. So he comes out.
Yeah, he comes out and does that. And I give Lon Animated. He kind of fumbles through the category. I get one good steal, which is what does Gru plot to steal in Despicable Me 1, and I think he goes multiple choice. And I get on the moon. I've never seen the movie, but I remember from the trailer.
Yep.
And so it gets to me, and I spin Denzel Washington, and
like. You and I have this weird theory with like actors and actresses specifically that are like, they're pretty tough, but you've been kind of just crushing it.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple now. I've done well with them.
Pitt, is that right?
Not Pitt, no.
I have such a hard time remembering. There's so many. So
I thought I got Hanks in a match recently at some point, but definitely Denzel in this match. I think I got Denzel against. I got something against Roca.
Yeah, I think you got Denzel against Roca.
It was Oscars against Roca. He got Denzel.
Oh, that's
I don't know. But anyway, the point is, I did well in this match, and I get Denzel, and I go like 7 out of 8.
Perfect. Yeah.
7 out of 8, and like I had like just like looked through his IMDb, like I had scrolled through it, like I saw the wheel, and I like pulled it up real quick, just like just in case. And a couple things that I found while I was scrolling through were like relevant in the match.
Like, it came up.
Yeah.
That was like before JTE's match or Schneider's or whatever, and I asked who voices Miss Potts.
Yeah.
In Beauty and the Beast. I got asked in that match.
Yeah.
Angela Lansbury.
And you never know. And so I had scrolled through, and I think it was like, who's his co-star? What Oscar-winning co-star does he have in Virtuosity? Yeah. And I would never have known it was Russell Crowe unless I clicked on it just to see like who's in Virtuosity.
I love that they asked you about Training Day.
Oh, and I say
his least favorite part of the whole movie.
He's like, why does Ethan Hawke get away?
Yeah, like, why does he survive the game?
And I give like this long-winded answer. I'm like, and that movie also sucks, and that's the bad part of the movie. I come out of the round and I do really well, and this is where it gets really, really long.
It's 13-9 going into round 3.
He misses his 5. That's how the match ends.
Yeah.
I do well. I think like the Bee Gees, who sings the theme to Saturday Night Fever was one of the questions, and another question was like, I honestly don't remember what my 3 was. Maybe the 2 was the only thing I had to answer. But Lon gets his 2 and he gets his 3, and his 5 is, who plays villainous former DEA agent something in the 1994 Wesley Snipes action film Drop Zone? So I say this in the post-interview, but I'll clarify here for you guys. When I was 12 years old, my older brother got me a VHS copy of Point Break.
This is wonderful.
He got me a Point Break VHS tape. And it was he said, this movie is awesome and it's silly and you'll like it. I do a show called Action Movie Anatomy, and I would give a lot of credit to my older brother for getting me that movie, and that put me on the path of loving movies like this.
Yes.
And it's my favorite movie of all time. Now, I became a big fan of Busey because of his teeth and all the fun things that he does in that movie. Utah get me too. So I had this period in 6th and 7th grade where I watched like 14 or 15 very bad Gary Busey.
You've watched almost every Busey movie.
I watched like Foolin' Around from like 1980
Do you have a shirt or something?
And I watched, the Buddy Holly story. I watched Big Wednesday. I watched like so many movies, Chrome Soldiers, like Breaking Point, movies that I should never have watched.
I haven't heard of half of these.
Surviving the Game, Chrome Soldiers, whatever. So one of them is Drop Zone. And I remember my buddy and I, Louis Cruz, in 7th grade, I was like, we need to get t-shirts with Busey's face on them. And we went to one of those kiosks at the mall.
With shirts.
With like a low-res copy of an internet like JPEG I had pulled of Busey. I think it might have been the shot of Busey from you can look for it. It's from Drop Zone. He's on the phone with a cigar in his mouth and it's fat arm vein. And he's like in an orange tank top, I think. And like I had a T-shirt with that I wore to school.
This is amazing.
And it's that's the answer. Is Gary Busey's the villain in Drop Zone that he lost on. So when they asked him, I was like, I actually know this. There's no way anyone else in the league knows this.
No. I was like Child 44. Like you and I were the only ones that knew people were obsessed with Tom Hardy.
But even that's like 2 years old.
It's even still very recent.
That's like if you watch movies, you'd know. Like Drop Zone, the villain in Drop Zone, it's not who is Wesley Snipes in Drop Zone. It's like
didn't even know Wesley was. I don't even know what Drop Zone is.
So it was one of those moments where it was like, can't believe this. That's what he lost on. Righteous. So I was blown away. That was a really exciting way to win the match. And now I have Clark Wolf.
Yeah, Clark Wolf. How do you playing? So tell me how you feel about. We're gonna wrap up here real soon. About 30 minutes in. How do you feel about playing Clark Wolf as your send off? And how did you feel about beating Janine and Lon?
I mean, when you say my send off, what do you mean?
Well, because we're gonna end this video soon, so just like as your wrap up, essentially, like tell me how you feel about playing Clark, and tell me how it felt to like actually beat Lon, someone who seemed almost unbeatable at the beginning of the season, then also to play against someone who is a fan and we're a fan of.
I mean, beating Lon was great. Beating Janine was great. I do feel that I'm one of the players whose singles record is not really reflective of my ability, and so it was nice to beat a good player like Lon's a really tough player. Yeah. Lon's one of those guys that like on a pound for pound basis who knows the most. He's in that top 3 or 4 conversation. Yeah. So to get a win on him was big. I mean, beating Janine, I thought she played really well, and I also thought her performance was really great. So it was nice to kind of see she had a great match. Like she really owned it. That miss was brutal, but I was proud of her for the fact that she knew Patricia Arquette. She knew that answer. I thought was really cool. And I've lost to Clark before.
These are also both rookies. Clark is a seasoned pro.
Yeah, I mean, Clark's really good. I feel like I'm playing really well right now, so I think I have a good shot as I'll ever have to beat Clark. And as far as the Harris brothers go, I mean, it helps when you beat someone. I think I have Lon's number a little bit. So
I do too. I think you'll be in his head. I definitely think you'll be in his head. And I think he'll remember losing to you, and he'll remember what that felt like. His brother is not a player of the game. You can fuck with his brother. I think you can get it in his head. And then as for Clark Wolf, just take her down, man. Just take her down for us, please. I want you to beat her so bad. Giancarlo Stanton wants you to beat her too. Guys, this has been a Team Action Patreon behind the MTS. And also, you've been killing it, man. I'm proud of you. I really am proud of you. You put in so much work. It's great to finally see it kind of all coming back. You know what I mean? Because it's like, action, we had our great runs, but as you said, we always fall at those big moments. And it's brutal because it's not like you put in any less work back then. It's always been the same level. So I'm really glad to see it paying dividends, man.
Thanks, man. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye. We salute you.